Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean, and if this looks a little weirder than normal, it's because this is take number 2 of the intro because the first one didn't record, but in this video, we are going to change the air filters for the engine in my McLaren MP4-12C. I show you the filters that I used, except for they're already installed. So we're gonna go back to earlier today and start from the beginning, from step 1. All right, if you didn't know, air actually comes in from here. It goes through a tube down to a box. It's right back here. So to get to that box, which is where the filter is, we have to take the wheel off. So we're going to jack up the car, take the wheel off, take the inner fender liner out, and then get to the box where we, as you guessed it, take more bolts off, and then there's the filter. To get the jack under the car, there are some green tags, and mine are not exactly there. So you can kind of see the outline of them, maybe if you saw them up there, but look for those jack points where it's a green circle that has a jack on it, unless it's worn off, and then you kind of have something left of a sticker there. That's where you should jack it up. We're gonna get the wheel off the ground, pop the wheels off. These are a 17 millimeter that you will need, and you probably will need an extension to get all the way back there. Now with the wheel off, we can get to the inner fender well, where we have 10 millimeter bolts scattered all over the place. There are 19 of them in total. Don't forget the ones down there on both sides. The clips that are on the diffuser down here like to move around, so make sure you don't lose those. And there's also some right up here, so make sure you get all those. And this whole thing comes right out. Now once you get all that loose, you'll notice these right here. That's a TPMS module. The wires aren't super long. There is a plug on that, so don't just pull the whole thing right out. When you get it loose, go to the plug, squeeze the side, pull the plug out. This whole thing will come right out. Now you see how quickly all of that came out, but I'm not trying to be a hand tool hero. You might also notice that I forgot one that was up here. If it doesn't come out easy, you missed one. So now we've got the airbox itself. These 3 8 millimeters, pop those off, this whole plate comes right off. Now here you've got the air filter. You just grab it and pull it right out. And you'll notice this is where it sits right around. It's a pressure fit to right here. The bottom will sit right there on it. Fits up snug, and that's all there is to it. Something else worth noting, this is on the right side, which is the passenger side on everybody who isn't right-hand drive. So left-hand drive cars, this is the right side. We don't have the filler neck and some other things right here in the way. On the other side, it's just a little bit more difficult. You might need an extension to get all the way to where this one is. It's all in the same place. It's pretty easy. You just might need an extension to get over to this one. So this aftermarket filter has got this cage around the outside of it, and that prevents it from collapsing, but it also makes it not quite as pliable as the factory one, which does kind of bend up a little bit. What I have found is the easiest way to put this one in is to make it go
to where the hole up top starts to fit in place. Get that to fit in on the near side, and then pick up the bottom and push it over the ledge, and there you go. It's in there nice and snug. It's actually a little bit tighter than the factory one, but it does go in. So from here, we put the cover back on. And this has a ledge in it as well, and that's got to go right there. Now you might notice up here, it will actually slide in like that and then go flat. I also recommend getting these in here hand tight first, in the event that you have just a little bit of shimmy that you've got to get done. And again, you don't need to use hand tools if you don't want to, and specific torque, I'm not too worried about it. And there we have it. This is reinstalled. Now we just do reverse order on the inner fender well, and don't forget to plug this back in. As I mentioned before, these clips like to move around a lot, so make sure they're in the right place before you go getting all these in here too far, because you might have to do like I just did. I do recommend trying to put all these in finger tight for a little bit, just to make sure that you're not going to be cross-threading these if you're using an impact or anything like that to get them back in. Again, if you're going to be a hand tool hero, it's going to take forever. I also recommend hitting that subscribe button and checking out all of our other videos that we also have for doing other maintenance and that kind of thing. And one way that you can make sure that you don't forget to tighten any of these bolts is if you go in a specific order. I like to kind of start in one spot and then work my way around instead of dodging around. After you make sure that you've got them all, you're good to go to put the wheel back on. Now remember, when you're putting these in, to just snug them, which you can do by hand if you like, but we definitely don't want any ugga chuggas just yet. Still putting them in a star pattern to make sure that they're in there correctly. And then we're going to tighten these down to 95 foot-pounds, which is 129 Newton meters. And we'll drop it down. And that's it. Congratulations, you have successfully changed out your air filters, assuming you did the same thing on the other side as well, because there are two. Certainly if you've done this one, it's the same thing to do the other one, and it doesn't make sense for me to show you how to do that. If you found this helpful, make sure you give the channel a subscribe, hit thumbs up, comment below if you had any insights, something you might have done differently, or maybe just to say, hey, man, I really enjoyed this. Make sure you check out all the other how-to videos and maintenance and modifications or even the autocross videos. I race this thing autocross, it's pretty fun. And I'll see you in the next one.